Hello, my amazing artists. Welcome back to Art with Mrs. Knowles. Today we're going to be creating something called a tunnel book. This is my tunnel book, and you can see it's called a tunnel book because it's like a tunnel. You look through it, you can see my little characters there. And our artistic inspiration for this is the artist Keith Haring. He was a pop artist. And he does these kind of simple figures. They kind of look cartoony. So we're gonna have a lot of fun doing some Keith Haring figures with it. All right, are you ready for your tunnel book? I am. Okay, so there's my example. Now this is pretty simple. What you're gonna need are 3 pieces of white paper and then 2 pieces, I'm using green. You can use any color. If all you have is white paper, you need 5 pieces of white paper. So 3 pieces of white and then 2 pieces of some other color. Okay, so your first step is you're going to take 2 of your white papers and we're gonna fold these and cut them in half. So I'm gonna move my other papers out of the way. So I'm gonna do these one at a time. When you fold it, we're gonna fold it like a book. So you want to very carefully line up the edges, just like that. So before I folded it, I lined up my edges. I'm holding it with my other hand and I'm pressing down. And then I should get a nice straight line. I'm gonna do the same thing here. Line up my edges, press. Okay, so now what you want to do is you are going to cut carefully along the fold on both papers. All right, so now I have, basically I have 4 smaller papers now, okay? So now I'm going to put 1 to the side and I'm going to take 3 of them and fold these ones in half. You see how I'm folding it like that? Okay, so I've got 3 papers folded in half, and then I've got my 1 extra one. Okay, you're gonna take these, and we are going to, I'm gonna draw this on so you can just see what I'm doing. This is my fold, where my fingers are right here, and I'm gonna create a rectangle. I'm just going about 1 inch. Doesn't have to be perfect. So all the way around, make sure that it's sitting on your fold. Okay. Remember, this part where my fingers are is the fold. So I'm gonna cut, I'm gonna keep it folded, and I'm gonna cut on the line that I just made. All right, so I have cut all of those. Now what I can do is open it up, and you can see it's like a little frame. All right, so I'm gonna put these to the side, and I'm gonna start on my background. So for your background, think about what do you want your book to show? I was showing a party in mine. Maybe you decide you want to have a bunch of kids playing a game. I don't know. It's totally up to you. But I'm going to show you how to draw the Keith Haring figures. Okay, let's say you wanted to have something like a heart, or maybe you want like a disco ball in the background. So I'm just going to draw that with my pencil. Now for the Keith Haring figures, what he does is he drew, you see how I drew a circle almost all the way, and that's for the head. And then the arms, he just kind of, you do a line coming out for the arm, and then the hands, he usually has them pointed, or you could just do a circle too. I'm gonna do another arm, I'll do a circle hand on that one. Pretty simple, right? And then I'm just gonna do a body, and the legs, again, can be simple. I'm running out of room. My legs are gonna have to go off the page. That's okay. And we'll do that. Okay, so there's one person. You notice I didn't put any details. It's just very simple, just the outline. Now, if you wanna make this even simpler, I'll show you another way. So, okay, here's another guy. Start with the head. Now, I want my arms to go up and over. Did you notice I just drew a line? And then I'm gonna have this arm coming down and over. Just another line. So now I can go and I can go around that line. There we go. Go around this line. Look at that. I made arms. And then I'm really running out of room, aren't I? I made these guys really big. That's okay. There we go. Got a little leg in there. Okay, cool. So now I'm going to use my Sharpie and trace those pencil lines and then erase the pencil lines. Okay, so I traced my pencil lines and I erased my pencil lines. Okay, so I'm gonna add some motion lines. Keith Haring usually added these little lines to his artworks to show movement. So it kind of looks like the heart is kind of glowing. I could draw some around my people to make them look like they're moving. Okay, cool. Again, I don't have any details. So now I'm going to color this. I am going to use markers, but you can use whatever you have, whatever you want to use to color. You could even use paint if you wanted. All right, I am going to color this now. So now my extra piece of paper, my extra piece of white paper is going to come in handy. So I'm still using the frames, but I don't need them right at this very moment. So again, I'm going to use my pencil and then my Sharpie to trace and then color 3 things to be coming out from the frame. So you can see here I have a little orange guy sticking out. There's a little pink guy right there. And then I've got my DJ dog in the middle. So think about what you want to have them doing as they're coming into the tunnel book from the frame. To cut each of these 3 guys out. So let's cut them out carefully. All right, so now that I have the 3 things for my frames and my background done, we're ready to start putting together the tunnel book. So remember I said that you needed 2 papers that were either a color or just white is fine. And these 2 papers are going to be the accordion sides, like that. Okay, so our first step for putting it together is to take each paper separately and we're going to fold it so that it has an accordion fold. Are you ready? All right, so I'm gonna put, my background paper is gonna get glued like that to the top of that paper. So get your papers ready. So I can use this bottom one right here. So it's gonna go right on top. All right, I got my glue. Remember, this is my favorite kind of glue, but if you like to use a glue stick, that'll work too. So when you use this kind of glue, you have to first take off any dry glue from the top and then turn just this piece, not this piece that's holding it onto the bottle, so just this top piece. And when you turn it, you can see that there's a little space there once you've done that. And you should be able to hear the sound of air or feel the air coming out when you squeeze it. Okay, so I'm gonna put some glue right here on the edge. I'm gonna do the same thing on this one too. So right there on the edge. Okay, now I'm going to take my background paper and very carefully put it all the way to the edge where my fold is. So all the way there, and hold it and count to 10 or 20. You just want to make sure it's stuck on really well. Now my bottom, I made sure that the bottom is lined up together so that it can stand. Because sometimes your pieces of paper are a little bit different size. Like when I put this one together, I noticed that, do you see how my white paper is sticking up a little bit? So my white paper was actually slightly larger than my colored paper, which is weird, but since I lined it up on the bottom, it stands up just fine. Okay, so now let's put this onto this one. So I'm gonna slide this one underneath. And again, line it up with the bottom as you do that. Make sure that it's up nice and snug against the fold. Hold it and count to 10 or 20. So it's stuck really well. Okay, you got your first part done. Good job. So now you're going to fold over one and fold over one on this side, and you're going to do the same thing, except you're going to glue one of your frames on. So same thing, put a line of glue here. Put it all the way up to the fold, line it up with the bottom, press it and hold it for 10 or 20 seconds. Same thing on this side. Put a line of glue, line it up with the inside fold and with the bottom, and hold it. Okay, I'm gonna do my last two frames. Same thing, you fold it over and you glue the frame. Okay, so I have my tunnel book pretty much glued together. Now I realized after I did this that I should have put these on as I was building it, which is what I did for my example. But guess what? I forgot. So I'm gonna have to add these little guys and carefully stick them into each layer. Now once you've got it built to this point, you can make a choice. You can either take your leftover paper, if you have any, and just fold it and glue it like that. Or if you want your frame to look white, you would just cut it right there on the fold. So I want to have the color on mine, so I'm just gonna add a line of glue there, fold that over. And then this one somehow turned out bigger than the other one. So I am going to cut off this extra line right here and then glue it. Okay. So now I'm gonna add some glue and press that down and hold it. Okay, so now we gotta add our little guys into the layers, which like I said, I should have done when I was building it. So if you haven't built yours yet, keep in mind that as you put each frame on, just add your little Keith Haring figure onto it. Okay, so, but I know that I want this guy to be sticking out like that. So I'm gonna put a little bit of glue on the side that I didn't color, just right here at the edge. And I'm gonna have him go on the first frame. Remember, each frame gets one thing. Once you have done that step, guess what? You have completed your tunnel book. Look at that. How cool. And you can see how it really does look like a tunnel. You can look down into it. You guys have fun, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.